Hello, and welcome back to TMV Gaming. Before we begin today's news story, I'd just like to thank my Twitter follower and YouTube subscriber, Crypto96, for tweeting this news story at me and to bringing it to my attention for coverage here on the channel. If you yourself would like to see me cover specific news stories in the future, follow me on any of my social media platforms and tag me in or send me directly the links to the news stories you would like me to cover. Now, on to the topic at hand. In the past, I have covered the possibility and what I believe to be the likelihood of Nintendo updating the Switch line of hardware to better compete with the PS4 Pro, Xbox One X, and the upcoming next generation of console hardware coming from Sony Interactive Entertainment and Microsoft Studios. It seems the rumor mills have sped up once again in regards to Nintendo refreshing the Nintendo Switch hardware, this time in Q2 of 2019. The original source from this article came from a Japanese website, well, the Japanese version of the Wall Street Journal, and was translated into English, and naturally when that happens, some information gets lost in translation or it doesn't get translated very well, and so it can be a bit confusing to really understand what they meant in their native language, but we kind of got the gist of what Nintendo was trying to do when it was translated into English. Basically, Nintendo wants to follow along certain smartphone trends by upgrading the LCD panel on the machine, better energy efficiency, upgrade the storage capacity, etc. However, on the website it still said that Nintendo is still considering other hardware upgrades and software features to add to the system, like party chat so you don't have to use a smartphone. That would be nice. But anyway, the rumors also seem to suggest that Nintendo may be working on a customized version of either the APU or the CPU and GPU combination on this new hardware that will in turn make it backwards compatible with current Switch models and games, and basically forward compatible so third-party developers and publishers can bring their biggest, latest AAA blockbuster games to the platform. As I'm sure you've noticed, the current Switch is getting plenty of third-party support, but most of it is of last generation, 7th generation third-party titles that have already been played time and time again. I'm looking at Skyrim and LA Noire specifically. What Switch lacks is current generation games, like the upcoming Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Destiny Part 2, if anyone's still playing it, Battlefield 5, if anyone plays that one, Assassin's Creed, you get the point, and Overwatch, etc. All of the latest upcoming AAA games that are coming to the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the PC platform respectively are all absent on the Nintendo Switch as we currently see it. However, with this new version of the Switch, Nintendo may be trying to focus on gaining third-party support for the platform, which in turn may end up segmenting their user base. In past videos, I've discussed the possibility and likelihood of Nintendo taking a different approach with marketing, basically stating that the current Switch model will be advertised as a core system to get all Nintendo's must-have IPs for those of you that want to buy a Switch for that specific purpose, and the new model being advertised as the ultimate Switch experience, which you get the first-party games, the third-party games, and acts as your main console/handheld of choice. That way I don't buy a Switch for the Nintendo games and go buy a PS4, Xbox One, or a PC to play the third-party games. The Switch Ultimate Edition, or Pro, or New, whatever you want to call it, would be the way you get access to the entire Nintendo experience. Granted, I said that before Nintendo Switch Online launched, and we now see how much of a train wreck that is, and considering how Nintendo is handling online in an era where most third-party AAA games are very online center focused, I don't know how they're going to handle that, but hopefully they can fix it soon. What I would hope is that Nintendo would handle this refreshed Switch model well. Because while Sony and Microsoft have both refreshed their PS4 and Xbox One series respectively with the Pro and X models, they are still backwards compatible with all previous titles, and all games released they're moving afterward are still compatible with the baseline models. While the rumors suggest that Nintendo's first-party IPs will still be developed with the base Switch in mind, enhanced for the Pro model, what they're saying is that third-party games released for this new model specifically will be incompatible with the baseline Switch model. And look at that, I just got another tweet about the story. Funny. So I would like to see how this is not only handled from Nintendo, but how the market responds to this, because based on what I see online, the Switch is not, for many people, their primary game console. They have a PS4, an Xbox One, or a PC that they play the Call of Duties, Battlefields, Overwatches, Destinies, the upcoming Red Dead Redemptions, etc. on, and then they go to the Switch for the Nintendo-only games. But what I would like to see is if maybe some of those people can be basically switched, for the lack of better words, over as a full-time Switch player, meaning they not only play their Nintendo games, but they play all of the third-party AAA games that will be released from third-party developers and publishers on the platform as well. I would like to see the market reception if Nintendo goes down this route. But most importantly, I'd like to hear what you think down there in the comments section. While I am all for an updated Switch model, I'm just very curious to see how they're going to do it, because while they've done this in the past with the 3DS and the new 3DS and 2DS models respectively, there weren't that many games released exclusively for play on the new 3DS models, but there were still some. And the Switch, though, is a little more, I guess we can say, mainstream than the 3DS in terms of a console gamer's view. So I would certainly like to see how this gets received in the marketplace, if this is something that Nintendo can sustain, and if it would be successful in Nintendo's goal in creating more third-party support for Switch as a platform. So, with all of that being said, I would like to hear your thoughts down there in the comments section, whether or not you'd want to buy this, whether you think it's a good idea, bad idea, whatever, or if you like my hair. It doesn't matter. Let me hear your thoughts down there in the comments section, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care.